We are excited to have a live concert indoors. This is wonderful, and I think I can speak for all of us that we missed this. This is great. Yes, thank you. Welcome. We've got a lot of music in store, so I'm not going to talk right now very long. I want to make sure everybody feels warm and welcome here. How about a hand for Mrs. Weller and the BHS chorus, the chamber singers, and the concert choir, and also Mrs. Weller is also the conductor for the BHS Orchestra. So let's make them feel some welcome, yes. And you're going to be meeting in a moment. Our BHS Jazz Band is going to kick it off here. Mr. Buxbaum is hiding in the trumpet section over there. There he is, yes.
Check, check, check. Check, check, check.
And then later on, you'll be hearing of course, the Symphony Winds, our combined wind ensemble and symphonic band. So thank you, a lot of thank yous and a lot of things to talk about. We got two intermissions. The first intermission will give you some more information. I hope you had a chance to look at the silent auction items, which all go to the scholarship for the Beat Papa group. So without further ado, please a warm welcome to our BHS Jazz Band.
On the piano. Jeff Damon on the guitar. Michelin on the tenor sax. Mike Padilla on the alto saxophone. How about another hand for our soloists? Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for coming back to our first Inside concert since March 2020. My name is Sean Buxbaum, and we are the Burlington High School Jazz Band. You just heard a tune written by Jim Snedero called Basie's Blues, written for the famous pianist and bandleader William Count Basie. We have one more tune that we're going to perform for you, and I think you're going to recognize it, so we hope you enjoy our jazz band arrangement of Joy to the World. Piano. Jack Damon on the guitar. And that was our man Franco Michelin again on the tenor saxophone. All right, thanks again for coming out today, everybody. I'm going to pass things over to the orchestra, so please help me welcome onto the stage Mrs. Julie Weller and the orchestra.
All right. right, welcome. It has been my pleasure to work with our relatively newly formed orchestra. This will be the third year we've had orchestra, but of course most of that time was during a pandemic. So we are thrilled to be back. And you might also notice that we happen to have a perfect string quartet. We have 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. And these 4 young musicians are some of the hardest working musicians I've had the pleasure to direct, and I'm thrilled that we're here to perform for you today. They will perform in string quartet fashion, which means without a conductor. The conducting responsibilities are shared among our violinists, first and second violins, Veronica and Althea, who trade off those roles. So we'd like to start our program with Hanukkah dances. Our second song, Song of the Ocean Winds, is by Adrian Gordon. Adrian Gordon is a young black composer. He lives in Florida, and this will be one of a number of pieces you'll hear on the program featuring music of composers of color and female composers. So we're thrilled again to present it for you. So with this one, I invite you to kind of sit back, close your eyes, and picture yourself on a nice warm beach with that ocean breeze, just kind of feeling that sweeping by. It really does evoke a wonderful feeling. And then finally, the orchestra will conclude their portion of the program with a medley of music from the movie Polar Express. Enjoy.
Wow, that was wonderful. And we had Mr. B hiding behind the chimes over here. He's everywhere. Trumpet, he's on the chimes. Great job. Great job, Mrs. Weller, on the keys. Beautiful job. String, orchestra, and jazz band. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Welcome back from intermission. That was Shoshaloza, led by Flower and Sarah. Shoshaloza is a song of strength and solidarity from South Africa. Sometimes it's referred to as the unofficial national anthem of South Africa. The chorus is going to continue its portion of the program by a song called Winter Wind by composer Brandon Williams, who is another young black composer. Mr. Williams lives in Detroit. And he has taken Shakespeare's monologue, Winter Wind, from As You Like It, and has set it to music in a very playful, interesting way that plays a lot with rhythm. But hopefully you'll also see that he uses the first part of the text which compares the bitter winter wind to the betrayal of a good friend, and juxtaposes it with the other part of the text, which says kind of like, oh, well, life is a folly. Don't take it so seriously. So we hope you enjoy Winter Wind. And now the chorus will honor the season of Hanukkah with Hanarot Halalu, which is the text speaks of the lights of the menorah to be used as a symbol of light over darkness. So we hope you enjoy.
Hanerot, hanerot, hanerot,
Please welcome the Burlington High School Chamber Singers. We're going to start our portion of the program with a Renaissance madrigal from the composer Palestrina, who is Italian. So we'll be singing in Italian, and we're singing Alla riva del Tebro, which means on the banks of the Tiber. We have come upon a scene of a shepherd boy kneeling in front of the river and just exclaiming to the gods how upset he is of his cruel fate. So despite a kind of a heavy text, it is an absolutely gorgeous piece, and we hope you enjoy it. All right, so now we have a little portion of our program. I have to stall a little bit as they get some props for our next song. But first of all, there are a few thank yous that I wanted to say. I'm really lucky this year. It's the first time, this is my 6th year now at Burlington High School, and I am so excited that I finally have a student accompanist in our class. So I would like to thank Esther Ma, who's a sophomore. Thank you, Esther. It has been amazing to work with her in our classes. She's also a really good singer, too, so very talented. I'd also like to thank Mr. Middleton Cox, who also accompanies us and helps out a whole bunch. So thank you, Mr. Middleton. Also, I wanted to mention that every fall, students have the opportunity to audition for our district chorus. It's an honor choir made up of some of the finest singers in our area of Massachusetts. And this year, I'm thrilled to announce that 10 of our vocalists have been invited into the district chorus. And those 10 are Flower Joy Burley, Julia Boldazar, Erica Chewinski, Henry Estes, Bella Gill, Stephen Noonan, Desire Oteba, Sarah Sendashonga, Giovanni C.K. Corsi, and Lucas Votto. All 10 of these students also received all-state recommendations, which means in January they will audition for the next level as well, so wish them well. All right, are you guys ready? I have stalled long enough. The Chamber Singers is back to wish you a holly jolly Christmas.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Oh, my bad. Wait, let's start that again. I apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the jingle bell. That is the jingle bell. That is the jingle bell rock. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the most wonderful time. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the weather outside is safe and jolly to feel jolly and everyone you frosty the snow, the mistletoe, where you can deck the halls with hearts kiss her once for holly, holly jolly, holly jolly, and Casey jolly, holly jolly Christmas. This all I want for Christmas is like the mistletoe, where you can deck the halls with hearts. Kiss her once for holly, holly jolly, and Casey jolly, holly jolly Christmas this year. Holly jolly Christmas this year. Happy New Year.
So many of you might know the Christmas carol that it's called the 12 Days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree, right? And the verse goes on and on and on, and more gifts are given, and all of this is happening by the end of the 12 days. You have a lot of things to deal with, of course. Well, this next song, our choir finale, is called the 12 Days After Christmas. And it is going to help us understand what happens to all of those darn birds.
flowers. And sent them back whole letters. I wrote my true love, we are true love. They said in so many words. Furthermore, your Christmas gifts were for love. For calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear
All right, how about another hand for the combined chorus and the senior ensemble?
All right, welcome back, everybody. The piece you just heard was A Christmas Flourish, written by composer Randall Standridge. So the group that you see behind me right now is a combination of the wind ensemble, the symphonic band, and percussion ensemble, which this year we are calling the Symphonic Winds. So the Symphonic Winds will be the ensemble that travels to New York City in April to perform in Carnegie Hall. So we wish the Symphonic Winds well when they do that. Before we introduce our next piece, I'd like to acknowledge the senior district students on the band side as well. We had many of our band students go through the process of auditioning for districts, which I tell them is one of the most important things that you can do to help grow on your instrument. We were lucky enough on the band side to have one student selected from the flute section, Paul Fowler. So Paul will also be recommended for All-State and taking the audition for the All-State Concert Band in January. So good luck on your audition, Paul. The next piece we're going to perform for you is a really beautiful melody that was created by Asian-Canadian composer Kate Nishimura. She composed this on a self-directed technology-free retreat in Southern Oregon. Doesn't that sound nice? Technology-free in the mountains of Southern Oregon. And she wrote this based on her experiences at Yosemite National Park. It was arranged for flex band. It's a new term in our world for flexible instrumentation by Dr. Caitlin Bove. And this performance will also be by our wind ensemble students. You're just going to hear the wind ensemble students on this. So I know we haven't gotten to do that much traveling in the last year, so I hope you're transported to 10,000 feet in the sky in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and we hope you enjoy Alpine Meadow. Thank you. Our next piece of the program is going to feature a first here at Burlington High School. So as Mrs. Weller has mentioned, the orchestra program is in its early stages here in Burlington, having just started several years ago in the Burlington system. So earlier this year, Mrs. Weller came to me and said that the orchestra is playing a piece and that the arrangement actually called for something called Symphony Orchestra, which combines winds, percussion, and strings, and was wondering if the band would be amenable to playing that. So after talking through some of the logistics, some of the details, we are going to bring the orchestra back on stage for our first ever symphony orchestra piece here at Burlington High School. Pretty exciting, right? The piece is an old favorite, Harry Potter. So you're going to hear some familiar melodies. Any fans of Harry Potter out in the audience? Any Harry Potter heads out there? Excellent. So you're going to hear from our orchestra hopping in here in the front row. And like I said, our first experiment here, we hope that it won't be our last time combining and creating this full symphony orchestra. So let's bring back out the orchestra and welcome them as we put together Harry Potter. Thank you. All right, we've got one more piece for you, everybody. Chorus members, I'd like to invite you back up at this time if you can make your way to the sides of the stage. We have a tradition a few years running here at Burlington High School, so we're going to finish with the holiday sing-along. If you all want to take out your programs, there should be a white piece of paper in the program that contains the lyrics. So we invite everyone to sing along with us as we ring in this holiday season. Thank you all so much for coming today. Best of luck in the silent auction. Thanks for coming out. Thank you to B Papa, and we hope to see you in the next year. Thanks so much, everybody. Here is Holiday Sing-Along.
about that? The combined BHS Symphony, Orchestra, and Chorus. Thanks again to Mrs. Weller, our orchestra director and chorus director, right here. Thanks, wonderful job. And Mr. Buxbaum, our band director, and now Symphony Orchestra director. Also, a big shout out, our stage crew is here today up in the booth. We had, how about a hand? We had Cooper backstage, and we had Dylan and Joe up in the booth. How about a hand for them? Thank you so much. And also a special thanks to our Papa and all they've done for us, and Chet McGuire, our photographer. Get your photos if you haven't ordered photos on the way out. And of course, check your bid. We're very excited to see who the winners are going to be. So with that in mind, thank you so much on behalf of the department. Have a wonderful and safe holiday season. Thank you all very much. Have a great night.